What's up guys, Ben from Beatsonic USA, and today we have the 2023 Nissan Sentra in for our amplifier. One thing that can make this vehicle even better is our Encore 3 Series Power Amplifier, specifically the ENA 3N1. This amplifier will give the factory sound system a boost and give you more clarity, bass, and overall more volume as a whole. And if you want to add another amplifier or subwoofer to your sound system, the amp does come with RCA outputs, giving you the opportunity to make your sound system even better with more bass and more punch. And it's pretty much a straightforward installation. It's all plug and play. It requires no cutting or splicing into any of the original factory components. And the ENA 3N1 is compatible with the 2007 and all the way up to 2025 Nissan Sentra with or without the factory premium audio system. And yeah, let's stop talking and jump right into the installation. All right guys, now that we're inside the vehicle, make sure you have some plastic panel removal tools handy, as well as a 10mm socket and ratchet and extension if needed. And of course, a thick blanket or towel to go ahead and cover up any potential damages when we remove the head unit. And to begin, we'll first need to remove this plastic panel piece here, right behind the radio. And first off, we're gonna go ahead, start off by masking tape and applying it over the dash. That way we don't damage the dash when we use the plastic panel removal tool, like so. And let's start with here, this corner here, push down. And all you're gonna do is just go ahead and pry it up just like that. Once you have one side up, go ahead and run your finger along. And that way it'll just pop up just like that. It's all being held in by clips. Alrighty, next, go ahead and grab your thick blanket or towel. Go ahead and put it over the prindle. This way, when we remove the radio, it will not damage or scratch your screen. And grab your 10mm socket and ratchet. And you're gonna go ahead and remove 4 10mm bolts, one located on top here and one located on the inside in there as well. All right, and now all we're gonna go ahead and do is just go ahead and pull the radio out towards you, like so. And grab your thick towel or blanket and just leave it hanging right off here. Let's go ahead and open up our amplifier here. So here's our amplifier kit. This is how the packaging looks. It is specifically the ENA 3N1 that we're gonna be installing today. Here's how it looks with our newly updated design. And please note, it does include the RCA outputs in case you do wanna expand into a subwoofer edition or an additional amplifier can be installed. And here's how the connection will look. All right, let's go ahead and open it up. And inside you will find the plug and play wiring harness, an instructions manual, some mounting and foam tape, and of course the amplifier itself. Let's go ahead and open up our wiring harness. And in case if you do wish to add on a subwoofer in the near future, it does come with a blue remote wire out. Let's undo the zip tie. This Sentra, we're only gonna be focusing on one big connector. Connector we will be focusing on is this back one right here. And in order to get more access to that, we'll remove this big connector here. So go ahead and push down the release tab and just pull up like so. And this is the one that we'll be focusing on here. So we'll do the exact same, push down on the release tab and pull up like so. Afterwards, grab our plug and play wiring harness, plug it in like so. And that way it'll just fit right back in there as well. So this is where the connection point will be made with our amplifier wiring harness. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and undo that and take off all the connection points. And when you do this, make sure you're pushing down on the release tab and then pulling up like so. This way we can completely remove the radio out of the way and get access to where we will be mounting the amplifier, which will be straight back there. There's plenty of room in there. Go ahead and mount the amplifier with some 3M tape and foam tape. That way it doesn't rattle or move when you stick it back there. But there's plenty of room back here. You can pretty much mount it wherever you'd like. Here's our amplifier here. Let's go ahead and plug everything back in, and first we'll go ahead and tune it the way that we like it, but feel free to adjust the gains on however much that you would like it set to. There you go. What the heck? Huh. I've never seen that.
That's a cable.
Interesting. Very interesting. Alrighty, and we'll ground it here for now. Screw it back in with your hands. And let's start up the vehicle and let's go ahead and tune it. Alrighty guys, as we were testing it, please note that the ENA 3 does come sometimes switched into ACC mode. Just make sure that the light is on, that way the amplifier is getting powered. If it's not, change the auto sense to speaker mode, and that way the amplifier and you will have sound output. And let's go ahead and further test. Alrighty guys, we played some music, listened to it, and this is my personal preference, but feel free to play around with the adjustments when you do this yourself. My adjustments are the front and rear gains are both at the 1 o'clock position, which is basically about 60% gainish. And yeah, let's go ahead and mount the amplifier now. Turn off the vehicle. You know Green Day, right? It's you know, your time.
What do you mean? You're younger than me.
No, yeah, it's during your time. Okay, let me start by first unplugging the amp. Does Eric ever do that?
Won't make fun of my age?
No. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna be able to fit my hands back there without taking the whole radio off. Alrighty, we found the perfect mounting location. It is straight back towards the front of the vehicle, and we're gonna go ahead and make the amplifier horizontal. That way the wiring harness will be pointed towards the left side right here, and then the RC outputs are right over there, but we won't be using the RC outputs yet as we're not installing a amplifier or subwoofer. So the wiring harness for the amplifier will route through here and come to the back of the radio here. Now let's go ahead and mount it with some 3M and we'll finish it off. And if you guys have some, make sure you guys prep your surfaces with some alcohol wipes. That way the 3M does really get stuck on there and mounted well. This is just a personal preference, but it's probably the best way to make sure the amplifier and the 3M stay on there. So not only do you do the amplifier, but also your mounting location as well. That way it gets rid of any dust or grime back there and allows the 3M to really bond and stick well. And that's why we alcohol wipe. That way the 3M can stick on well. Apply your 3M. Let's go ahead and press down on it for about 20 seconds. And we'll do the other side as well. And let's go ahead and plug in the amplifier's connection. It'll just be the white and gray connectors here, like so. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move the factory wiring harness aside. That way it gives us the most amount of room in such a tight place. Remove the 3M backing. Alright. And as a reminder, this is exactly how we're going to mount it. So the wiring harness is on the left side. Let's go ahead and stick this back there and work our way in towards that shelf. Alrighty, my hand and the amplifier are there at the shelf. Now all I'm doing is just pressing down, giving it some pressure. That way the amp doesn't move. And just hold it for about like 30 seconds. Right. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our progress here. So there's the amplifier mounted with the 3M tape, and we're just going to be tucking in the wiring harness towards the driver's side into that little pocket. And let's reinstall our grounding wire here that we installed temporarily. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and tuck everything in towards the driver's side, toward the left of the amplifier, like so. Alrighty, so we've tucked away the wiring harness towards the left of the amplifier and that little cavity. And now all that's left to do is just go ahead and plug back everything in. Here's the connector and ground wire. We'll go ahead and do it on that same screw. And the ground wire will be installed like so. And then we'll reinstall the plug and play wiring harness here. And make sure you reinstall everything else that was connected back to the factory radio. For this vehicle, it was this big connector here, this black connector here, and this pink and white connector here. Let's go ahead and start by tucking away everything in. And that's it. Now let's go ahead and push it back in. All right, like so. And after that, we'll go ahead and reinstall the 4 10mm bolts that we took off. Just make sure when you guys are doing this that everything is hand tight and not over torqued. All right, let's go ahead and grab the plastic panel we removed and just go ahead and clip it back on. And just push down like so. Remove my masking tape. And that'll conclude the installation. Now let's take a listen at the before and after our amplifier. And that concludes today's installation with the 2023 Nissan Sentra and our ENA 3N1 amplifier. We thought it sounds great and the customer thinks so as well. And if you guys have our amplifier installed in your vehicle, let us know what you guys think of it and the installation process and how we can better improve our products. We'd love to hear your feedback. Let us know in the comments. We'll see you guys at the next video.